This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in partnership with Empire Fight Store. We're in Manchester Central. Press conference has just finished. Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. Paul Smith Jr. here. Let's have a go at that Well Hydrate box machine. What was your score? Announce it to the crowd. What did you get? 900? What was it?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll get back on it in a minute. I'll do it again, eh?
Good hit though.
I'm okay on them. Once I knew Joseph Parker at the top scorer, I wanted to try and beat the heavyweight champion of the world if I could, or a former heavyweight champion of the world. That'd be good to tell people here, wouldn't it? I've just beat the heavyweight champion of the world.
Happy New Year. I'm glad you had a good Christmas before we did the interview. Press conference just then. We won't go into everything. We won't do that at all. But it was heated, to say the least, Paul.
Yeah, a little bit. You get them now and then. They don't like each other. And again, I get people who don't know how boxing works as such, or not really involved in the game, and the message, it's staged, it's put on. It's not staged. They just don't like each other. There's never been anything where I've walked out to a press conference and been told to say something or do something more, and vice versa. Same with Liam. Everything that he's saying is from himself, and same with Eubank. You say things to rile people up and get people going, but the only thing I didn't like on it, you don't mention people's families, and you don't mention people who are in poverty and fucking struggling to get work and out of a job, and it's like there's a lot of unemployed people in Liverpool. We hear it every week on the terraces at Goodison, at Anfield, feed the Scousers, sign on, and people wonder why the city is the way it is towards the establishments and other cities. This is a nationwide, worldwide epidemic at the minute where people are out of work, people are struggling, people are on their asses, people are signing on out of jobs that they've been in for 20 years, 30 years, needing to work until their late 60s and all that. Times are hard. I mean, if you want to revel in that and gloat about that when you're the son of a millionaire, by the way, you were born and getting took to school in a Bentley. Your dad mightn't have much now, but at the time when he was in his pomp, when you were a kid, you were getting brought to school in a Bentley or a fucking pickup truck the size of a house. Your dad was in his pomp and his prime, and you are the son of a millionaire. You never had a hard day in your life. You've never had to knock next door to borrow a pint of milk, or you've never had to lend money off people, or go to the pawn shop, or have a bailiff knock at your door. They're hardships. They're what people go through, and to sit and gloat about it, I don't like all that shit. So press conferences are what they are. It's all going to get settled Saturday night between the two of them. Will they shake hands after it? Probably, because there'll be that respect there, but they certainly don't like each other. Eubank won't like any of us. He's not our cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea. I'm not his cup of tea. We're total polar opposites as people, and it shows. I think you can see it up there.
Yeah, I mean, there will hopefully be respect at the end for both men. They both respect each other as fighters. You respect Chris Eubank Jr. as a fighter. Gauge that as well. Yep. Why do you think Eubank went down that road in terms of, saying that Liam Smith is meant to be a hero for his city and all the rest of it? Why did he go down that road, do you think?
Because he's probably getting desperate, because he knows full well he's not under Liam's skin. As Liam's saying, if you stood up there and said something to Liam, he'd say it back to you the same way I would. And this is where, I get a lot of stick on Twitter for it. My attitude is I wouldn't say nothing to someone on social media that I wouldn't say to the face. And I'm not standing here walking around calling people dickheads to the face, because I've got no reason to. They've done nothing to me. But when people are starting to sort of get brave and say things to wind people up and all that, if you're not getting a reaction, you're going to go further and further until you get that reaction. There's not going to be a reaction as such from Liam, apart from, if you said it while we were just both by ourselves, then something would be done about it, as it would with everyone and all that stuff about don't resort to violence. Mate, you're two men, you're two professional boxers. If someone says something that you don't like, you're going to get involved, you're going to have an argument, and it will probably end up in a fight, as most things will. But if you're not getting a reaction that you want from someone, you're going to push further. You're going to keep prodding until you get that reaction. That's what was going on there, and both of them are given as good as they take. And as I say, it's all bollocks, and it'll be sorted out Saturday night in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the first time we've seen Liam sort of bite back at Chris Eubank Jr. We've seen Liam not really fazed about the antics from Eubank at all. How have you dealt with it?
Well, it's not me fighting. That's what I'm saying. And what I see, I read into everything. I watch everything. I analyse everything all the time. And I'm an overthinker, and I always watch what people are like. And I'm watching Liam, and he's asking him questions about things what we can all see. What's going on with your airline? Little daft things, tongue-in-cheek things. Why'd you get your airline done? It wasn't like that when you come up to gym sparring. Why'd you get your beard transplant? You know what I mean? That's things that anyone will take the piss out of. But then to come back with other remarks the way he's doing, it's just creating it's creating drama and problems, and it's below the belt. It's not stuff you joke about or try and insinuate or try and talk about. And then, as I say, like back to the unemployment thing, I heard that straight away at the start, before it got bad. You know, there's a lot of unemployed people in the pool. No shit, mate. There's a lot of unemployed people everywhere, but I'm sick of Scousers getting that rap of, you know, none of yous work, none of yous do this. He's talking to a millionaire himself on the table, a professional boxer who's been around the game for a long time, who's done well out the sport. You know, I've mentioned it all, as I say, but these press conferences, they are what they are. You know, it has to be done. It's a necessary evil, in my opinion. You never like them. You never like the head-to-head. Sometimes you need a bit of needle, but these two are top-class fighters who are going to get in there and knock shite out of each other on Saturday night. They don't need all that. It's already fired up enough. There's already a lot on the line for both fighters, and there's already a lot to lose for both fighters. You know, whoever loses, it's going to be a long way back for either of them.
Yeah, following on that, career-defining fight this one?
What, sorry?
Career-defining fight this one?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You know, where would Eubank go if he loses to Liam Smith? Especially after all the talk. Where'd you go? You're gonna...
Is it Conor Benn? That's the...
Is anyone going to buy a ticket to watch Conor Benn? And I like Conor Benn. I like him as a kid. And for what's happened and what's been... Until it's all proven, we can't really say much. It looks very, very, very dodgy. It looks like it is what it is. It's a shame because he's a nice kid, as I say, but the fact that he's saying, like, oh, this is an easier fight than Conor Benn, come on, mate. You know, that's, again, a load of shite. Everyone that knows boxing, I haven't seen anyone that knows the boxing that's agreed with it. Anyone in the industry, no one's agreed with that because it's not an easier fight. You want to fight Conor Benn because you want to cash in and make a right big payday and a right few quid out of it, as does Conor Benn. And good on you. I hope you both get it. But you're in a proper fight now with Liam Smith, someone who's live, someone who's been with better opponents than you, someone who's won a world title which you haven't done yet, and this is a career to find a fight. And after the talk you give, this is a light middleweight stepping up to your weight to fight you, and a man who you're calling old, has passed it, has had too many miles on the clock. So if Liam does beat you, how are you going to come back from that? Are you going to fight then? I think the Conor Benn fight is the only fight that's there, but by then, without sounding nasty, that'll be just a circus. That's just the names. That's just people who are having that nostalgia kick, wanting to buy a ticket to watch two sons of two legends. And I loved Nigel Benn growing up, by the way. He was my favourite fighter growing up. Fight each other, and that's all it'll be.
Liam was quite adamant that he was pleased that Roy Jones was in his corner. Do you think Eubank has improved since the influence of Roy, or not at all? I'm
happy he's in the corner. I don't see any improvement at all. I'm not slagging Roy Jones. Roy Jones is a living legend, and as a pundit, one who I rate massively, a commentator and a pundit, and I watch a lot of the commentary and the punditry to see how things are, to see whether they're reading the fight or whether I'm reading the fight the same as them, because it's my job, and I look up to people like that. Roy Jones, Teddy Atlas, they speak sense, they can read the fight well, they know how to you know what's going on in the fight, how to judge your fight, how to read the fight properly. But as a coach, it's a different ball game. Just because you're a good fighter doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach. Just because you're a good analyst doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach. And the stuff that I can see Chris Eubank doing, like, I know it's only on behind the gloves, I know it's only on little clips and snippets that you're seeing, but the stuff that he's doing, it's not going to work with Liam. It's not going to work with many fighters, because Chris Eubank Jr. isn't Roy Jones. No one's Roy Jones. And again, all that stuff about having him fighting the way he fought. I trained with Buddy McGirt. I didn't fight like Buddy McGirt. You know what I mean? You've got to, just because your coach fought with a certain style doesn't mean he's going to teach you that certain style. So I don't read into it. I'm happy Roy Jones is here because it means hopefully we'll get Eubank at his best, and Liam could beat Eubank at his best. But again, you know, does Eubank listen to anyone enough in the gym to push himself that hard? Does Eubank go there that hard in the gym again? When was the last time you seen Eubank fight for 12 rounds at a pace? He hasn't got that in him. The fact that he couldn't stop Liam Williams and get him out of there, no disrespect to Liam Williams, I like Liam Williams, but if you're having someone down 4 times and you're letting him see the final bell, there's an issue there, and the issue is with the engine, because you haven't been there in a long time in a fight, and you probably don't go there in the gym. So if he hasn't gone there in the gym this time, how's he going to go there in the fight? You're not just going to turn up fight night and automatically be in the shape of your life because you've done loads of rounds on the pads with Roy Jones and do 12 rounds at a pace. You've got to do that in sparring and in the gym, and unless you've gone there in the gym, you're not going to go there fight night. So that remains to be seen, to answer your question, whether Roy Jones will be a hindrance or a positive to him. I think having that advice in the corner is always going to be a positive, but the game plan, I don't know. And the training work that he's done in the gym now, because he can't get no fitter now. If he's done it, he's done it. If he hasn't, we'll find out Saturday night.
Only 2 more for me, and I got to shoot off. Does this go the distance, Paul, first of all?
I think so. I can see it going the distance. Yeah, I think that's the safe bet. You know, the fight going the distance either way is a very, very safe bet. For me, I think Liam's got enough in the tank to take more of those rounds on the way. I think he's got it in him to hurt him, which he's done it before, and I've seen it before, obviously. I think Eubank could hurt Liam. You know, he is that type of fighter. I don't think he's this monstrous, ferocious puncher everyone keeps making out. Again, I've been in there with him. I didn't feel anything power-wise at all to phone home about. But it's a fight, and anything can happen. Speed kills also, and he's very fast. So yeah, I think points is a safe bet, but I can see Liam, possibly stopping him late and wearing him down and grinding him down and making him work really hard.
I said two more now. Sorry. Liam Smith wins. Where is next? Golovkin, perhaps?
Not even thinking about it.
Of course not. Of course, yeah, you can't overlook this fight, but
we as in brothers, not we as in coaching team. I'm not his coach. We as in brothers. Liam wouldn't sit there at all and say, after this I might fight him. It's just not in his arsenal. It's not his armoury. He hasn't got that in his locker. So nothing. I'm not even thinking about that. Neither today. And it's not like don't want to jinx or not. We just genuinely haven't thought about it. Honestly, I wouldn't know.
Prediction
title. So,
yeah. Well, title.
Any one of the fellas with the belts. Why not? But Saturday is everything.
Prediction, Paul.
Liam points. I think Liam points. I think he could stop him late. I think he could hurt him to the body, and I think he could stop him. But again, as I'm saying, I'm watching replays behind your head of both fighters, and especially Eubank and that Liam Williams one. If you're worried about your engine, Liam Smith's the wrong type of fella to be in the ring with.
Oh, thanks for your time, mate. Enjoy this week as much as you can, and see you Saturday.